Dad, please don't do this. You can't make him marry me. I just want to talk to him. Why do you have a shotgun? I just want to talk to him. Dad, this is ridiculous. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to shoot him. I just want to talk to him. You can't shoot him.
Hey, you guys, this is Mrminiguru, and this is week 2 of business communications. Thank you for joining me. We're going to go over the communications processes and ways to communicate. The communication process has 5 steps, and in order for them to be effective, each step, the sender or the receiver, they should do something. So when the sender has an idea, they should clarify that idea. As they encode that message, they consider the receiver's background, communication skills, experience, culture, and the context of the message. When the sender selects a channel, which we will go over channels, communication channels later, but when the sender selects a channel and transmit the message, they should consider the importance of the message, the feedback that's required, and the interactivity. When the receiver decodes the message, the receiver should avoid prejudging the message. And when the feedback returns to the sender, the receiver should craft clear and complete response that reveals comprehension of the message meaning. Here we have a critical thinking question. Why are these important in communications? Why are those previous steps important in communication? Which steps do you believe is the most important and why? This is completely opinionated, but me personally, I believe these steps show how successful communication is established. They outline the steps of successful communication from the sender preparing to start the transaction of communication to the receiver receiving the information and providing feedback. It shows the open and closed loop of the full communication cycle and what it consists of. What is the 3x3 writing process? How does it guide written work? Give an example of how this would be used in a business application. The 3x3 writing process consists of pre-writing, analyze and anticipate, drafting, researching and organizing, revision, editing, and proofreading. During pre-writing, you want to have a grasp of your audience that will be receiving your message. While getting your point across is important, this stage allows you to anticipate how the audience will react to your message. So be mindful of the words that you use and adapt to your audience. Drafting your message is where you will have the opportunity to choose the type of research you're going to perform based on the current communication channel that you will be using. Organizing your information after you have completed either your formal or informal research will be the last step before putting your draft ideas on paper. Finally, revising your message is where all the editing, proofreading, and evaluation takes place, and this will or should take the bulk of your time. After you have completed the editing and proofreading, ask yourself, did I get my point across? How was the tone? Did you encourage feedback? When applying these guidelines to your business writing style ensures that you not only transmit your message across in a concise manner, but it also shows a high level of professionalism. I also have a graph here where it shows kind of a time allotted that you should have towards each of these writing processes. You should spend about 25% of your time pre-writing, about 25% of your time drafting, And then the bulk of your time, as I said before, should be in revisions. Here we have the general guideline on sentence length with comprehension rate of your receiver. The longer your sentences are, the less percent or the less chance it is that your receiver is going to understand your message that you're trying to get across. How do you build research into your message? How does this change depending upon the communication channel you utilize? What kinds of research work best in communication? Communication channel examples: face-to-face conversations, group meetings, blogs, Twitter, etc. When building research into your message, the communication channel, as well as your audience, should dictate which form of research that you use, whether that is informal or formal. Consider face-to-face communication. You must first choose the type of research to do in the midst of the conversation to get your message across. Using informal research by brainstorming ideas, interviewing the target, and conducting a survey will be more practical in a face-to-face communication channel than to conduct scientific research or search manually. Regardless of the topic, the communication channel has a lot of bearing on the route that you choose to do research in. I believe that the best way to research is informally, as it gives you the opportunity to share your ideas with others and still obtain information about your topic. And here are some examples of levels of dictation. You have unprofessional, which is a low level of dictation; conversational, which is a middle level of dictation; and formal, which is a high level of dictation. Here are some examples of negative sentences. Try to avoid these at all costs. So the first one says, our request for a fitness center will never be approved without senior management support. The next one is, you failed to include your credit card number, so we can't mail your order. The next one is, your letter of February 2nd claims that you returned a defective headset. Employees cannot park in lobby until June 1st. Try to avoid using words like can't, never, claims. These are negative words. They can come off as wrong with a negative tone. Now here are those same sentences, but it's a positive way that they've been written. Our request for a fitness center could be approved if we obtain senior management support. Notice that this says the exact same thing that the previous one does, but it gives you a positive tone, a positive vibe, as you could say, to the sentence. Next one is we look forward to completing your order as soon as we receive your credit card number. Next one is, your February 2nd letter describes a headset you returned. There's no blame. There's no, on this sentence, it doesn't show that you doubt that the person actually did it. There's no that you claim to have returned. This was just saying that your letter describes the headset that you returned. Employees may park in Lot B starting June 1st. Notice that this sentence took out the word cannot. That is a negative tone, a negative word. And we don't want to use that when we're writing professionally. Hey, you made it. Thank you for continuing to the end of this video of business communication on week 2, communication processes and ways to communicate. We went over the communication processes from beginning to end, from the sender having an idea to the feedback returned to the sender. We went over the importance of communication. We went over the 3x3 writing process and how it guides you to your written work. We went over some positive and negative tones to your sentences, as well as the sentence length compared to comprehensive rates for people. Uh, Thank you for watching, and this is Mr. Mrminiguru. Until the next video, let's continue to learn together, and I will see you on the next one.